Sports Radio here at American Legion, Post 207 in Tuckerville, Georgia, right off Lawrenceville Highway. And it's a beautiful, beautiful clubhouse here. Got some beautiful facility, and they've been so kind as to show us their facility. And they also have a Confederate graveyard that they maintain that we're going to be going and checking out. There's some outside footage of the Legion. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility. And the graveyard is right over there. There's a trail right beyond that truck that we're going to be going down. Says, God saw you getting tired. A cure was not to be. So he put his arms around you and whispered, come with me. With fearful eyes he watched you and saw you fade away. Although we loved you dearly, we could not make you stay. A golden heart stopped beating for the tender hands at rest. God took you home to prove to us he only takes the best. It's in loving memory of Jimmy Westbrook Jr. It's beautiful. Walking up here to this altar and memorial. This is dedicated to World War I. From April 6, 1917, November 11, 1918. Flame of Freedom presented by Joe Pritchett. Post 207, the American Legion, in commemoration of its 50th anniversary and dedicated in the name of God to those who serve the cause of freedom in the armed forces of the United States. The other side, it has World War II. December 7th, 1941 to September 2nd, 1945. On the other side, they have the Vietnam War. August 5th, 1964, year I was born. May 7th, 1975. And on the back side, they have the Korean War. June 25th, 1950 to July 27th, 1953. And we got these beautiful cannons. Imagine being behind this, firing this baby off. God bless America. Here we are with Commander Mike Harrelson with American Legion Post 207, and he's been kind enough to give us a little insight on this Confederate graveyard that you've got behind your post and that you guys maintain, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And give us a little insight on it.
I think this post is owned by the Paul Thomas family.
Okay.
His wife is buried up here.
Is that right?
And
let's start, take a walk on up here, up this trail.
there, she was buried, I think, last year, up here. And he worked with me over on Main Street in Turkey, Cofer Brothers.
Okay.
And he had been there for something like 50-something years.
Here it is. Wow. Let's you can stand right there, and you don't mind. You had mentioned to me about somebody who gave you a little bit of story about behind this.
Yeah, Jack Stewart was a past commander, and he said he thought it was owned by the Paul Thomas family. And if it wasn't that, it was owned by the Goza family. I'm not sure which one. We kind of keep it up and keep the trash out of it.
These are those little stones are almost like from the Wild West. Just a piece of rock with no name or anything, right?
Right.
They're basically just markers.
Markers, right.
As you can see, we've got Santa Bob and Batman out here. This is a very serene place. As you can see, they've got the tombs that are just rock.
Oh, nice to meet you. Well, thank you for coming out.
Sure.
And, helping us out with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, obviously, he probably explained to you right while we're here.
Yeah.
Right?
And I called John Bond. He is an old member, and he's a past commander. And I called Jack Stewart, and Jack Stewart had been commander 3 or 4 times, and he thought that this cemetery is in the Thomas family, and his wife passed away last year. And
How long has this cemetery been here?
I've only been
Since the
around.
Civil War, Mike.
Yeah.
Since the Civil War.
Revolutionary
Some of these
War.
graves are only marked with just a headstone of just a rock, right?
Yeah.
And it's a shame that some people really want to let this part of heritage go away. You know that Civil War troops are buried all throughout the South?
Revolutionary
Right.
War.
Wherever they fought and died, that's where they were buried, right? And who would want to have that kind of thing on their heads being marked away from history in itself?
Well, let's take a walk over to some of these graves and tombs and get a little insight of what's going on here.
Thomas family, their plot is over here. Like I said,
Right here's a tomb.
Thomas. I can't hardly make his.
It's hard to
Read that one with all the age on it, the loss and stuff. It's hard to read.
hard to read. Can you get a date on there? 1801 to 1855 is what that looks like.
More.
The Thomas family. The people down at the Legion were telling me that they, that they maintain this, right? But it
Yeah.
is actually privately owned.
Yeah, it's privately owned, but it's owned. We don't own the property.
Right.
What do we got over here, Santa Bob?
This over here is the Thomas plot. This is the family Thomas. We haven't shown you before here, but this is the Davis plot. Cynthia Davis, 1897 to 1938. And I don't know what that little one is there. I'm not sure. I didn't read that plaque. Let me see if I can get a little closer. Saying his eyes aren't what they used to be.
So it's almost just a marker from 1911. There's some older stuff down in here that we were looking at.
There's some very old
They put some benches out here.
Right here, there's a couple of graves from the Revolutionary War.
This looks like this one's been broken.
There you go. Here.
It's a cracked open tomb.
Remember your father for T.L. Singleton. Born October 7th, 1814, died July 24th, 1860. And remember our mother, T.L. Singleton, who was born April 10th, 1819, died January 1st, 1863.
There's some older stuff here.
Right here, Mike.
These old.
Here's Sergeant Daniel Bones, 1st Regiment, Revolutionary War. This is right here. Edward Everett Little.
It's like just his tomb built of rocks.
Continental Line, Revolutionary War, July 16th, 1756. Died January 16, 1832. There's another one right here. It's from the Revolutionary War. Peter Cash, Virginia troops, Revolutionary War. February 21st, 1759. Died November 15th, 1832.
We got another one
We
here.
have one more here.
Rainier Whitley, Continental Line.
Revolutionary War.
That's all it says, with a cross.
And just a stone.
Very serene over here, isn't it, Bob? What's your thoughts being in this Confederate
awesome.
graveyard?
This is a super dedication to our fallen soldiers, and I think it needs to be kept up. This is a privately owned graveyard, but it is very awesome.
Well, thank God for the American Legion Post 207 that keeps this maintained.
Absolutely.
To keep the actual history of the Confederacy going, right? We already went to Stone Mountain.
All right.
All right, this is the Batman from American Hearts Radio web TV show. We're doing a segment on the Confederacy, and we're up here at the Confederate Graveyard that is behind the Tucker Legion in Georgia, and this is the Commander Mike, right? And this is burial ground here is the Thomas family.
That's either Molly Thomas.
Yeah. And Cookie Thomas was the last one last year buried here.
Who was that? And there's
Cookie,
Cookie.
that's Paul's wife.
And then we got MC Thomas. And then we have Toy Thomas. And the Thomas family, this is basically their land?
Yeah, I think they own this cemetery from what one of our other commanders have told me. I called him.
And how long have you been part of the American Legion?
I've been part of the Post 207 since 2002 when I was sworn in as junior vice. And been here ever since.
That's right here at the Tucker American Legion, right? Well, they're always looking for members, and if you happen to be out here by Post 207 right there, welcome you in.
And let them know how we actually stumbled across this Confederate graveyard, Batman.
Well, that's a good thing that you had mentioned that, right? One of our sponsors, the Moon Shadow Tavern, which is located very near here, a couple of blocks away, had given us a little heads up and a word on this area right here. And being a Legionnaire of myself, right, we were welcomed by these people, right, to come up here and do a couple of shout outs and some shooting here. And you know, that kind of spirit in America is what we're going towards and want to keep alive. And that means we would treasure our heritage, and this by all means is part of our heritage. Don't you agree, sir?
Yeah, look at this place. I mean, this is you don't see this every day, you know.
A lot of graves here back in the 1800s and stuff.
1700s.
1700s.
Let's not let the memory die.
Well, also I noticed, Mike, you had served in the Vietnam War.
Right.
Give us a little insight on that. During your tour duty. And
I was in the U.S. Navy Seabees. I was in the construction battalion out of Coronado, California. I made 3 tours to Vietnam. And then when I got out, I moved to Jonesboro, where I lived for 18 years there and worked in Atlanta and as a diesel mechanic, and moved back on this side of town and went to work at Cooper Brothers in Tucker. It's a building supply company that builds houses to remodelers, builders, and just about the day-to-day people coming in there.
well, I do want to say thank you, Mike, for your service.
Thank you.
That's
To our
right.
country.
American Hearts Radio, right? Web TV honors our veterans, obviously alive or dead.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's true.
And you know what? Santa Bob is a former Marine, and
I want to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Mike. Good man. Glad to see it. I'm glad you come out. 3 tours, that's a lot.
amen, brother.
I had a cousin who was there, also in the U.S. Army, spent 3 tours in Nam. He passed away, unfortunately, last year.
We've got several members too. And been over there a lot and did a lot over.
Let everybody know how people can become part of the Legion, and let us know a little bit about what the Legion does to help the community here in Tucker.
The American Legion helps veterans, helps raise money for all our veterans. Like last Saturday, I went with a district service officer over to DeKalb General Hospital and picked this man up. He had had an automobile wreck and didn't have no money, nowhere to stay. He did later on, that Monday he would be okay at Fort Mac. They had a room for him and was going to take care of him, but over the weekend it was closed, and he called our post, and so me and Marty Boyd, our district service officer, went over and picked him up and got him a motel, and got him some food, got him a prescription, and then I took him to the MARTA train that Monday and told him where to get off and how to get to Fort Mac. And he had told us that he walked from Fort Mac.
Wow.
Fort Mac, along with a sea bag, it took him 2 days
Wow.
to get to the VA hospital. And I wouldn't even attempt it. There's no way I
Well, I
would
tell you what,
attempt
man.
to do
Well,
that.
You guys helped him out.
That's what the American Legion is all about,
He
right?
was
And
never
you could be
in
part of
tears.
this too, right? And all it really takes to be a member of the American Legion is you just have to be a veteran or connected with the service in some way.
That's right. And
Through a family member.
Son.
It's always good to help people in America,
Auxiliary
and that's what they do.
well, I tell you what, this is
Fundraisers. We had a car wash last weekend, and the ladies raised something like $470 washing cars.
every little bit helps in helping families.
Yeah.
And you know what? I can't help but notice on this gravestone. I'm going to zoom in here. The etching on there at the top says love. And that's what the American Legion is all about. is love for the community, love for our country, and love for our fellow man.
Right.
And I want to thank you, Mike, for taking your time. And American Hearts Radio Entertainment Network thanks you. Bob, go ahead and get in the picture.
And can we
Yes, sir,
can we give one more shout out for the American Legion here in Tucker?
Yes.
Mike,
207.
if they want to get a hold of you by phone or something like that, how can they do that?
They can call 770-491-9979. That's our post phone number.
All right. So
And
you
what's-
have an interest here in Tucker, Georgia, please give the Legion a call. Right? They'd love to hear from you, wouldn't you?
Yes, we would.
Thanks a lot.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Tell everybody you're watching American Hearts Radio Web TV.
You're watching American Hearts Radio Web TV. God bless America.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, I want to say thank you so much, and American Hearts Radio thanks you, and we appreciate your service, because it's because of you is the reason why we can do what we do, because we're free.
That's right.
God bless you. God bless America, brother. Rock and roll.